was able to do this year. And when you look at Bruce Arians, and I know Tom Brady gets a ton of credit, but the job that Bruce Arians did, and people are going to say, well, Bruce Arians didn't do anything. And that was what was most impressive to me, watching him delegate and defer and give so much control to his offensive coordinator and his defensive coordinator and his quarterback. Like he allowed guys to be their best and at their best and have so much input. There is no doubt in my mind that this team can get back to the Super Bowl next year, Frank.
I agree with you, G. Who in this world is still doubting Tom Brady? I mean, can we, as sports fans, just stop doubting him so he can just stop having that Michael Jordan little clutch gene where he want to prove everybody wrong so somebody else can win a Super Bowl? It's like every season something comes up. Is he falling over the cliff? Can he do it again? Can he win 2 in Tampa? Is he going to get pushed out of New England 3 years earlier than what he did? It's always something to fuel this guy's fire. I just want us as a whole to just say, Tom, you can get it done so somebody else can win a Super Bowl and we can enjoy a Super Bowl without Tom Brady next year.
I don't doubt Tom Brady, but there's a lot of other moving parts, like their free agents, for example. Ndamukong Suh, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Levante David, Leonard Fournette, all guys who contributed heavily during the regular season and certainly in the Super Bowl. So I don't doubt Tom Brady, but are they going to be able to bring back the pieces that really worked? Now, Tom Brady clearly is a great GM as well, but there's money to factor into it. Mike Evans allegedly told Bruce Arians that you can have some of my money. I don't know how much he's willing to give up to make all of that work. And there's not really a huge market, I don't think, for Antonio Brown or Gronk, and they probably don't want to play anywhere else. But I don't doubt Tom Brady. I doubt the rest of the situation coming back as fluid as it was this season.
Look, I'm with you guys in that I think that Tampa Bay has a great chance of getting back to the Super Bowl. And I think there's actually a good chance that we see a rematch. And this time I would probably pick Kansas City. But there is reason to doubt this, and the reason is that Tom Brady will be 44. At some point, it might not be till he's 46 or 47, who knows? But at some point, Father Time is coming for him, and he's going to sack Tom Brady, and it could be next year. We don't know. It usually happens quick with a quarterback. Remember Peyton Manning? He went from 39 touchdowns, 4,700 yards to 9 touchdowns and 2,200 yards in 1 year. It happens quick. Now, I'm not predicting it. I think Brady will be Brady, and I think they are the favorites in the NFC. But we can't just brush that aside like Tom Brady's 24 and that there's no chance he comes back next year and just falls off. That's a possibility.
Chris, you're going to be on Tom Brady's next Petty video. You got to watch. On to J.J. Watt. He tweeted yesterday. J.J. Watt tweeted, free agency is wild as he continues to weigh his options. So, Greg, can J.J. Watt be the missing piece for a championship contender?
Yeah, it really depends on where he decides to go. And when you think about the teams that are probably on the top of his list, is going to be Super Bowl contending teams. So like the Green Bay Packers, they can use a pass rusher like J.J. Watt. And in my opinion, if I'm J.J. Watt, I will jump on that bandwagon down in Tampa Bay and try to get me one with Tom Brady. Because like you alluded to, and you listed out all those free agents, if they can acquire somebody like J.J. Watt, who will probably just come just to win, be in a winning culture, and have a chance to hoist a Lombardi trophy, yeah, I think that J.J. Watt could be a winning piece for one of these franchises.
I agree with you, Greg. And I think another suitable contender for him is Kansas City. One thing about Kansas City, they have trouble stopping the run. I think he'll be a great addition inside to go with Chris Jones because teams don't realize to beat Kansas City, you have to run the football. They feel like they have to throw the ball and out-air Mahomes, but when they run the ball against Kansas City, they're pretty successful. So if he can come in and when teams start to realize you have to run the ball to beat Kansas City and they're not able to, that just adds a little bit more pressure to opposing offenses. And he'll be definitely a great leader to go with Honey Badger on defense. So he can definitely be a great piece for a contender.
And J.J. Watt is a good run blocker, Brandon, so he would be big there. I would like to see him with the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers came out a little unhappy after the way the season ended. He'd like to see the Packers be a little more aggressive. Go all in, Packers. Get the Ferrari. Forget the minivan, okay? In Green Bay, it's time to drive something a little flashier. Go in on J.J. Watt. Bring in some energy, some excitement. He's also still a great player, so it's not like you're losing there. Now, the money thing is what's going to be interesting with J.J. Watt, because obviously he wants to go to a contender, and he should. He said quarterback, supporting personnel, and money reportedly are on his list of things to meet. So I don't know if Green Bay can do that, but if they can make it work, be a little aggressive, go after it, I'd like to see J.J. Watt with the Packers.
Yeah, I'm with you, Joy. I think that would be the first place I'd like to see him go since he's from Wisconsin. He used to watch the Packers as a kid. Tampa makes a lot of sense, too, because you can go down there and have a great chance of getting a ring. Bottom line is I think he can help any of these teams. Kansas City, Cleveland, as much success as they had last year, they were in the bottom third in points allowed. So they need some help on that defensive front. And I think he'll probably be more useful against the run game, not just the pass. We think of him as this pass rusher, and when he's healthy, obviously he can do that. But I think at this stage of his career, he might be better against the rush, and a lot of those teams need that, especially Green Bay. So, yeah, I think that Watt can help any of these contenders he chooses to go to.
Let's talk Eagles. A report yesterday suggested the Birds will eventually trade Carson Wentz. It also said they would draft a quarterback 6th overall. So, Greg, are you surprised the Eagles might draft a quarterback and not just commit to Jalen Hurts if Wentz is dealt?
No, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I don't think Jalen Hurts is their franchise quarterback. I think he is a piece that they can insert and probably get by with and buy them some time potentially, but I don't think he's a franchise guy. And when you get a new head coach, they kind of want to start to establish their own personnel, their own identity, and kind of run things their way. Now, I know that's going to be hard because the Eagles have shown that upper management is going to be involved with a heavy hand, and so that may alter some things for the Eagles. But yes, I'm not surprised at all.
I agree with you, Greg. You know, the Eagles are essentially saying, we know Wentz is not a guy. The tag is too high. He's not healthy. He hasn't been playing well. And Jalen Hurts might not be our guy also. This is a whole new offense that Nick Sirianni is going to bring over. And when he was in Indy and with the Chargers, they love driving the ball downfield. I don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to be that quarterback to want to drive the ball downfield. He's the guy that likes to get the ball out of his hand quick, and if it's not there, he likes to take off. So I just don't think Jalen Hurts fits their system as much as they would like to. So I think they just want to start over, like Greg mentioned, and just get the guy that they know can come out and wing it how they would want to wing it around the field on offense.
I'm not surprised that the Eagles might do this because the Eagles have turned very quickly into a total clown show. What are you talking about? You have Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. They're going to deal Carson Wentz, who we know is a franchise quarterback. You have Jalen Hurts that you drafted last year. Now you're going to draft another quarterback with a 6th overall pick? What is this, quarterback Tinder? Make a commitment. You already have a quarterback situation. What are you doing here? Pick somebody, build around them. Jalen Hurts showed promise last year. Develop him. Use that pick to help bolster your roster and build an actual contender. I think the Eagles are going to be the worst in the division next year, and this is part of the reason why. It's just chaos.
Look, I think ideally they'd like to keep Hurts and Wentz and draft something other than a quarterback. But with Wentz wanting out, then I think they're like, okay, we're going to let him move on, not bring that problem into our locker room. And the fact is, Jalen Hurts showed that he's a leader. He showed that he can earn the trust and respect of his teammates. He showed that he can make moves with his legs and play well, running the ball. But he did not show me that he's a franchise quarterback. Maybe he will become that, but I did not see enough. He was 1-3. He did complete only 52% of his passes. He did only throw 6 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. He did have a passer rating of 77, which would have been 31st in the league. Like, Jalen Hurts was not lights out by any stretch of the imagination. So if I am getting rid of Carson Wentz, then yeah, I don't mind bringing in another quarterback because Hurts didn't prove to me He showed glimpses, but he didn't prove to me beyond the shadow of a doubt that he's my guy for the future.
Speaking of Carson Wentz, the Eagles and Colts have reportedly continued Wentz trade talks, but Indy is not budging on their offer. So, Greg, are you buying the Colts as Super Bowl contenders with Wentz under center?
Absolutely not. Look, Joy, the Philadelphia Eagles were not a Super Bowl contender with Hurts under center. That was Nick Foles when it mattered most in the postseason. With Carson Wentz under center, he was really, really good in the regular season, but we haven't even had a chance to really see him in the postseason. So, no, I'm not buying it whatsoever with the Colts. I know the reunion, hopefully, of Frank Reich and Carson Wentz, he's hoping that could kind of revive and bring back what he once did. But, Brandon, I don't see it happening.
Greg,